What is going on, everybody? It is Sando, and welcome to my first official YouTube video. I'll be using this channel to discuss everything that has to do with music production, hopefully documenting some travel when the world opens back up, and I'm crossing my fingers on this one, but potentially even getting some behind the scenes footage of some tour one day. I'm so pumped that you guys are here to watch the video, and I'm very excited for what's to come on this channel. So make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with everything that I'll be posting. So let's just jump right into it. The topic for today is going to be about how I got my track together with Steve Echo and LV called Warrior, signed to Revealed Radar. So in order to give you a little bit of background on this, let's go all the way back to the end of summer 2020 when Steve and I first started working on this song together. Steve had initially sent me an idea, and as soon as I heard it, I knew that it had the potential to be something special. So immediately, I said I was super down to work on the song, and we got right to work. So the way Steve and I like to do things is whether we're working individually or together, we like to get the song finished up to the point of the end of the first drop. And when I say finished up, I don't mean a complete version of the song, but at least a decent structured layout that we can start listening to over the next couple of days to test a few things. The first thing would be to see what kind of technical fixes we would need to make if we were to continue with the song. And the next and most important thing is to see if the song actually is something that we are in love with and we want to continue on with. So after a couple days of going back and forth, discussing some potential switches or changes that we could make for the song, we both knew that we wanted to continue on with the track. So what we did was we finished up the second break, we finished the second build, and we finished the second drop. Now, once we had that sounding good, we made some technical changes to it. And at that point, we had our full instrumental completed. Now, something that I'll recommend and something that Steve and I both do regularly is we'll put an acapella of some sort over top of the bare instrumental, just to kind of get an idea or a feel for the message or the theme of the song that we want to try to go with. Adding an acapella also helps you during the writing process because it can really lend a hand in generating a vibe and giving a feeling that you are trying to go for when writing a song. So once we had everything sounding how we wanted it to, we stripped that acapella off and we started thinking about who we could approach to write original vocals for us. Now, for me, I love this part because it really is determining the last and pretty much final step before you can start approaching labels. So what we started to do was we got a bank of male and female vocalists and we started going through the two of those just to see if other songs that they have done have a similar tone or vibe, and just to make sure that the vocalist that we want to have on our song can actually pull off the presence and the vibe that we're trying to go for through the vocals on our song. So after a couple days of contemplating back and forth, Steve and I decided we should probably go with a female vocalist just because we felt that the female tone would have suited this song a little bit better than a male vocalist would have. And not only that, but we just had a male vocalist on our previous collaboration. So just in an attempt to keep things fresh and new, we decided to go with a female vocalist. Once we figured that out, we immediately knew that we wanted Elle to be the singer for this song. Now, for those of you that don't know, or for those of you that do, obviously Elle is a superstar vocalist. She has worked with some top names in the game. So when we reached out to her, we didn't really think that we were going to have a chance at actually getting her to sing for us. But after she listened to the first instrumental demo, she was blown away by it and she agreed to work with us. And at that point, Steve and I were extremely excited and we could not wait to hear what she had come up with. Now, generally how we like to work with vocalists is we send them the idea, we give them the instrumental version, and we kind of let them take full reign with respect to where they want to go with the vocals and what they want the theme to be about. Now, in our heads, we have an idea as to what we'd like the theme to be. Given the caliber of Elle, we just decided, you know what, let's give her the instrumental, and if what she comes back with is a little too different than what we were thinking, then we can make some adjustments. But that was not the case here. Once we got the first version back, I had chills running up my arms and I was like, Steve, this is the one, we're going with it. So I sent back in my email to Elle in very explicit words that this was amazing and she needed to just continue on with how she was doing things because this is our track. It's called Warrior. This is going to be how our song is going to get put out to the world. So once we got the full version back, we made the remaining technical changes. We got the final mix and master finished up and we started to approach labels. So in our case, we approached Revealed at the end of December. And honestly, the whole process from the time that we submitted via their portal to getting signed took us about 2.5 weeks. Now this brings me to my next portion of the video, and that's explaining how the process to submit to Revealed works. So Revealed actually has a pretty cool platform or portal that they use for artists to be able to have a streamlined way to upload their demos and also make sure that all communication is done through one centralized spot. So the account is totally free to make. All you need to do is log in, you can upload your demo, and at that point, any communication that you'll be having with the label will be done through the portal. Now, there are some misconceptions, as Revealed does offer a professional membership that you can get. Now, people have said to me in the past that they think that in order to get signed through Revealed, you need to have a pro membership or a subscription model that you're paying for them. When in reality, that's not true at all. The subscription portion just means that the process from which it takes for you to get into the review process to when you get your final answer is a little bit shorter, but not only that, it provides you with feedback in the event that your track is not selected. The reason why I can tell you this with 100% confidence is because Steve and I are not pro members at all, and we have our track signed to them. So let's go into the process of submitting to Revealed. So once you're logged in and you've uploaded your demo, there are 4 phases that you need to look out for. The first stage is the open phase. The open phase is where your track is sitting when it is being waited on to get reviewed by the first round of A&R. The second round is called needs review. And at this point, it means that it's already been listened to once and that the A&R team likes your demo. So once you're in the needs review phase, if your track actually is liked at this point, then it moves into the final round. And the final round is the place where the final tracks for consideration are all put into the last pool. And after this, your track is either ready to sign or it unfortunately will be declined. Now, the thing that I love about the Revealed portal is that you get email notification every single time you move from one phase to the next. This makes it extremely easy for you to know where you're at in the process. With other labels that are all done via email, there's a good chance that you could not even know that your song has been listened to or that it was even being considered. Now, to tie this back into how it relates to how we got signed to Revealed, we made it into the final round and we weren't getting our hopes up quite yet because we actually got declined twice before on 2 different songs. Once we were in the final round, they told us that it was going to take about 15 days to get us a final answer. The first thing that I would do when I rolled over in the morning was check my email to see if there was any sort of update as to what was going on with the song. Now, fast forward to day 13. This is the 13th day out of 15, and honestly, as the days kind of were counting down, I was getting more and more nervous. But on that 13th morning, on January 18th of 2021, we finally got the notice that our song was going to be signed to Revealed. And when I read that, I cannot even explain to you what was going on. I couldn't feel my body. I couldn't even understand what I was trying to think, or I didn't even know what to say. Revealed has been a label that I have paid attention to since like 2010, 2011, when I first really started to get into this style of music. Hardwell is somebody that inspired me, that I've gone to see before. His music is something that I can relate to, whether it was from playing hockey, playing soccer, or even just when my friends and I were in our computer lab in high school, listening to Spaceman when that was the new big thing. So to be part of his label is something that still gives me goosebumps to this day. So that gives you a little bit of insight as to the process that we went through with getting Warrior signed to Revealed. Now, just to kind of cap things off for this video, I wanted to give some tips to producers that haven't reached out to labels before or that have reached out and are potentially having a little bit of trouble with breaking down that first door. The most important piece to keep in mind when approaching a label is to make sure that your track is ready. This means be honest with yourself. Is your track done as well as it could be? With the world that we live in today, in 2021, given the coronavirus situation, there are producers and DJs left, right, and center that are making themselves available via Twitch, YouTube, all different types of streaming platforms that are enabling us producers to submit our songs to them for review. This is a very easy way to get feedback from some of the top names in the game. Guys like Nicky Romero, Luis Torres, Morgan J. They're all doing things on Twitch that gives us, the producer, the ability to get on and give our track to them and see what they think of it. These guys clearly know what they're talking about. They're making a living off of doing this. So if they're telling you to do something, it's because they think that that's what would make the song better. So what you need to do is take their feedback and start making modifications to your song based off of what they're saying. This is a great way to make sure that your song can be as ready as possible. And it also helps to make sure that you're not leaving a negative impression on a label. If you submit a song that's not 100% ready, it could end up meaning that when an A&R sees your name, that they might flag it as something to pass on. So just make sure you don't leave that option on the table. Number 2, Make sure that your track fits the label. There would be nothing worse than wasting your time and the A&R's time of submitting a track that does not necessarily fit with the style or the theme of a label. These days, most labels have a style or a theme that they gravitate towards, so just make sure that your song is either matching that or is something related to the same family. I mean, let's put it this way. I wouldn't recommend submitting a tech house track to Revealed. Number 3, be patient. The label submission process is already as stressful enough as it is, and you don't need to be sitting here thinking, oh, well, what if the song's not good enough? Or I wonder what's going on with the song. At the end of the day, the track has already been submitted, and if there's one thing that I've learned, there's no point in stressing yourself out. Let the cards fall how they may. Tip number 4, and this is in the event if your track is unfortunately not taken by a label, do not take that rejection too hard. It's not the end of the world. Keep working hard. Take those changes that you think you can make, continue to improve, and try again. Because like I said, we got rejected by Revealed twice before getting signed. So had we had the mentality to just stop, then this would have never happened. And this leads me to my 5th and final point: do not give up. Like I said before, it would have been very easy for us to take the rejection from the label as something to heart and decide that we didn't want to pursue this anymore. But see, I like to think of things as happening for a reason. I think that getting rejected by this label or by other labels was just a test to us to see how badly we actually wanted to pursue this. And just to cap things off, to go on with the 5 points that I've just talked about, I think there are 3 vital things that you need to remember in order to get your song signed. Number 1, you need to make great music. Number 2 is that you need to be a little bit lucky. And number 3, timing is everything. Now, 2 out of those 3 things you don't even have control over. At the end of the day, you could have a very great song, and when you go to submit it to a label, it just might get rejected because they've already accepted too many songs in the last period of time that are too similar to yours. So it might not even have anything to do with the fact that your song isn't good. So that's why I recommend just continue making music, continue improving, and submit to labels when you think the song is ready. I think fortunately for us, with Warrior, all 3 of those things just happen to align at the same time. So that brings me to the end of today's video, and I thank you again so much for tuning in to my first official YouTube video. I'm super excited for what's to come. If you guys liked the content that happened today, feel free to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I've got some other pretty cool ideas planned for the channel coming up in the next couple of months. I don't know how frequently I'm going to be uploading quite yet, but I will try to do it at least once a month, maybe even a couple times a month. Just for the beginning, and once I kind of get a bit of a routine down, then I will definitely let you guys all know through my social medias, which you can follow down below in the description. I'll also be starting up a Twitch channel at some point, but I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of when would be a good night to stream and just making sure that I have all the necessary tools that I need to pull that off. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you can take something away from it. And if you want to check out my track Warrior together with Steve, Echo, and LV, the link will be down below in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out.